Alright, what's up? What's going on, guys? CaptainMonk here. In today's game, playing some Void Fizz in the mid lane in the preseason for Season 6. Let's go ahead here and grab ourselves. I'm thinking I'm actually not going to go with the Doran's Ring. I'm thinking what makes a lot of sense for me is actually I want to say the new flask. It's technically not a flask, but it's pretty much the same concept, just changed, and it's the Corruption Potion. So the active on it is pretty similar to the flask, but not the exact same. And I'll go ahead and give you some, I guess, some more insight onto what it's like and what it does and when to use it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just from reading it here though, it replenishes some mana and some HP over 12 seconds, I guess. Not very much different from potions. During this time, damaging spells and attacks burn enemy champions for 15 magic damage over 3 seconds. Now, the reason why I think this is very, very good for Fizz is not only the sustain, which is why you got the flask, but the magic damage is magic, right? That's the keyword, magic. And because we are Fizz, and with the masteries I'm running and all that, and my runes, I have a lot of magic pen, as you can see here. I've got 8%, or wait, no, 8 flat, then 7%. So that's going to mean that the magic damage from this is actually going to burn a bit more. Now, I know it's a little bit of magic damage, but still, every little bit counts. And if you increase that little bit by a little bit, then it becomes larger than a little bit, I guess, is the moral of the story here. So, look at the teams here today, guys. We have Big Lazy Donut playing the Janna support, Nathan Kazuki on the Jax top, I gank no problem back again on that Tristana 80 carry, and then Dragons GG playing Lee Sin in the jungle. Now I'm gonna get my E here, level 1. Unfortunately, can't really avoid the what's it called? The Malzahar space aids, I guess you can call it. So I go ahead and just keep farming here. But one thing I want to mention while we're still early on in the recording, of course, is, well, actually there's two things. First one, if you guys want to support the video, make sure to drop a rating. It does help out a ton. The next one is that I really wanted to mention is I actually just got a new mouse today, and I've had the Razer Taipan for about, I want to say 3 years actually. It's been a while, and I decided to replace it today because it was just getting a little bit old. You know what I mean? I mean, with the amount of games I play and how much clicking there is from League of Legends, I just kind of figured, it was time. So, unfortunately, Malzahar is going to keep harassing me with the space aids, and I hope I get this minion here. I can. That's good. At least, I thought I avoided that. I guess not. I thought it was out of range. I guess the hitbox is a little bit weird. He is running with the Corruption Potion as well, which makes things a little bit tricky for me as far as fighting him goes. But the wave's nice and fat, so I'll just sit back here and farm it out. Try to get this one here as best as I can. And I should be able to. Yes, I can. Alright, and I guess I'll pop my first tick of the potion. And yeah, I'm getting very low here, but this is kind of how this lane goes, unfortunately. Cannot really fight a Malzahar in the early game. But once I get a few levels and a few points in my abilities, it gets a lot easier. But for the early game, it's going to be really rough, and unfortunately, that's just how it is. However, if I keep out of range of his space aids, or his malefic visions, I think it's called, I should be okay as far as surviving goes, but for the time being, relying on my potion thing is all I can really do. So I'll get both those minions there, and then pop my last one and just keep sitting back here. Can I get this? I cannot quite. Unfortunately, Tower Shot was just too good. Can I get this minion here, though? I can. And I'm pretty sure he's going to use some abilities on me. Alright, yeah, just the auto attack and the Malefic Visions. I could be using my E more freely to try and avoid these, which I probably should be doing, but I just don't find myself, I don't find that makes that much of a difference, honestly. But I'll go and use my E here, and actually I should probably back off because he might just kill me here. Yeah, I have to flash. Otherwise, he was going to ignite me as well. I should be able to survive this, though. Yeah, I can. Alright, so yeah. Really gonna need help mid. Unfortunately, Fizz is one of those mid laners that if he gets poked out, he's just really bad. And unfortunately, Malzahar is one of the best poke champions in the lane phase as far as like just doing a ton of damage and not being able to do any sort of counterplay, unfortunately, against it. So we're gonna grab that ourselves the Doran's Ring, just to give us some more HP and some extra mana regen and hopefully some more survivability in the lane here. And I'll just go back to the mid lane. So I'm only down 4 minions, which yeah sucks. And yeah, we're down a flash as well. However, I think it's something we can come back from pretty easily because we are Fizz. And if we have any help from Lee Sin, the reason you don't see Malzahar in competitive play, like at all, whatsoever, is because of one simple reason. You'll notice here he's been completely destroying me so far, yes. However, Malzahar is very, very vulnerable to ganks. He has no mobility. He has a slow base movement speed. And he doesn't really have any sort of mobility spells at all. Like, he's really weak when he gets ganked. So if Lee Sin shows up, all Malzahar can do is, I guess, hover away and flash. That's all he's got going for him. So if we have the damage output, which me and Lee Sin should have, being more Fizz than Lee Sin, some of the higher damage champions in the game, we should be able to take him out fairly easily, as long as we can play around his flash. And so for the time being, just being patient and chilling is totally fine. Unfortunately, I used my flash because I was getting a little bit too greedy for those minions because it was a fat wave of the turret. You can't really blame me for that one. And I'm going to start fighting him here because he's out of mana, and I think we can fight him a little bit. And there goes his flash. So that's going to mean when Lee Sin ganks, this guy is basically free. Lee Sin's already sweeping behind him right now, so let's go ahead and go on this guy. gonna pop the ignite on him here, and we can probably just pop on him. Yeah, there you go. Easy. Nice job. He stutter stepped for a little bit there, the Malzahar, to try and put a spell onto Lee Sin. No idea why, but he did, and that cost him his life because it slowed him up enough that I could pursue him with my Q and my W, of course, which empowers my Q to do even more damage, and go from there. We'll pop our last corruption potion. You can see the farm is even, and there's one more wave for me to farm here before Malzahar gets back. Maybe two, depending upon how quickly I can do this. But yeah, I was going at them low here. Use the E to try and clear the wave up a little bit. And hopefully not miss too many. Go get this, and get out of turret range, and get the last one there. Alright, cool. So seeing at 32 minions, he is dead. Well, now respawned, but 25 minutes. And actually, Malphite was looking for a gank. He's not going to find nothing, though, because I'm already out of there. Peace. So let's go back to base here, and look towards getting our first item, which, in a lot of cases, I'd say Athene's makes a lot of sense because of how much we're struggling in the 1v1 against Malzahar. But I think, at the same time, Morello Nomicon make a lot more sense for us, just because it's cheaper. Not to mention, it gives us what we want, which is the extra damage, Managen, and all that, which we would still get from Athene's, but it's cheaper. And after the lane phase, we're not going to need the extra magic resist as much, so I think this is fine. And actually, does the Morello Nomicon? Yes, it does. Okay, so I'll just get the extra Fairy Charm. Cool. Unfortunately, they did make the item a bit more expensive in total price, but you got to keep in mind in Season 6 is they did increase the amount of gold you get for doing everything. I looked at the specifics, and minion gold, for example, has been increased. Jungle creeps, I'm not sure whether that's the exact same or slightly more, but it's not less. I know that for sure. And as far as like standard gold for just doing nothing, they've increased that as well. So in general, everything costs more, for the most part at least. There are some exceptions of items that just got buffed that were terrible. Like the Rage Blade, for example, was a pretty weak item, and they buffed that up but left the price the same. So yeah, in general, most items got their price raised. So it's really important to keep that in mind when you're thinking like, oh hey, all these items got their price raised. Well, yeah, technically they did, but a lot of them got the value of gold actually has gone down, if that makes sense. So that's why we're looking at it. So Malzahar is level 6. Now this is a really key point in this lane phase against this matchup, because with Malzahar hit 6, unless I'm already like, if I try to full on fight him 1v1 full HP each, I probably stand a chance, but it's completely reliant on him not comboing correctly. That makes sense. And I don't like winning fights because they made a mistake. I like winning fights because I made a play. So the way I'm going to make that play is by him wasting some of his spells and not having the ability to actually fight me. So I know it's kind of lame, just me just kind of sitting here waiting for him to make a mistake, but that's unfortunately how I have to play this lane. I have to play on my back foot and just wait for him to make a mistake and then take advantage of that. And that's just the Malzahar matchup in a nutshell. But if Lee Sin shows up, the same thing applies as before, especially more now because Lee Sin has hard crowd control with his ultimate. So if he hits that ultimate when Malzahar is using his, I don't know what the ult's called, but this ultimate, which suppresses one target and does a lot of damage. If he kicks him out of it, it's of course a channeled spell, so if you cancel the channel, then boom, this fight's easy. So I'm just going to back off here while the Malefic Visions clears up those minions. We're still, actually we're not up, we're pretty damn close in minion farm, so can't complain too much about that. And we should be able to clear these up in one shot pretty soon here. Not quite yet, but it looks like top lane pick up a kill there. Nice job to them. Let's go ahead here and just, actually, hold on, where's Malzahar? He's missing. I'm just going to keep it a few moments before I shove. Yeah, he's back. Okay. So the thing is, I want to shove because normally the way you go in a lane phase is if your opponent's there, you want to zone them for minions if you have the edge. But if they're not, you push in to make them miss as much as possible. So right there, I didn't see him for a while, so it's fair to assume he just warded. But it is also possible that he went up top after his teammates got killed and was looking for to pick up a kill. So if I saw him show top, then yeah, shove. But if he's just warding, we want to keep the wave even, so we can continue to zone a little bit. Now he's actually back here, so it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to shove in here and make him miss as much as humanly possible. So as soon as my E's up, I should be able to clear up these minions here. And go from there. Alright, cool. So yeah, he's going to miss pretty much all of this. I'm going to pop my last corruption potion here. And I think I'll get some wards around, because normally I don't need to ward, but considering the wave's pushed, now I need the vision. Because if I'm just staying at turret, I don't need vision for shit, right? Because I'm safe. But considering I'm pushed up now, I'm getting some extra vision while I'm just waiting for the wave to reset. Also, Lee Sin's blue buff is up, so I'm going to go ahead and ping that, let him know that that's what I'm thinking about. And we'll go from there. Now, this minion's pretty far up, which puts me in a bad spot if I want to take it, but I kind of want to take it, so... Oh, hold on. Alright, this is fine. I took some free damage from... I didn't want to hit it by the visions, I thought I was out of range. I got hit by his silence, his Q, which wasn't a big deal, but I got hit by the visions as well, which makes me a little bit salty, but it's okay. Let's go and clip the rest of these minions, though. Should be able to get them all. And he's got the visions on me? Nope. Good. Alright, so I'll get the boo buff here, And hopefully Lee Sin afterwards will gank for me, because I think if he comes over and ganks, Malzahar is pretty free. So I'm going to ping that, let him know what I'm thinking about. And we can probably kill Malz. Yeah, Malz should be free here. He's going to push the wave in here, so we got to wait till I clear up this wave. Otherwise, Malzahar has no reason to push up unless he's being extremely aggro, which most smart mid laners won't do. And he's actually being extremely aggro, so I'll go ahead and pop my ult on him here, just to help Lee Sin set up the gank. And I gotta be really careful here, because Malzahar is just gonna ult me like that. Save kick for his ult. Malzahar made a good play there, but Lee Sin unfortunately messed up there in a... not a massive way or anything, it's not like he was completely messed up, but he made a small interaction that shouldn't quite have gone the way it did. If he saved his ultimate for Malzahar's ult, he would have cancelled it, and we would have killed him easily with no casualties whatsoever. But unfortunately, I was just too low going into that I couldn't get to Malzahar. And for those of you who are wondering why I was being so, such a pussy and sitting so far back and not, being a man and just going in and fighting Malzahar flat out, it's because I straight up can't. With the amount of damage Malzahar has, all he has to do in a 1v1 scenario, before the Lee Sin's a factor, of course, is put his W on the floor. Doesn't even use his Q. It can help. It's not really important. Put the W down, put the E on your opponent, ult, and ignite, and then you stand there and just watch them burn to death. Like, that's pretty much how it goes for Malzahar in his fights. So, one advantage I do have over him is I have more CDR in my build, so I'm pretty sure I'll have my ultimate before him. And with that knowledge in mind, I should be able to all in him when I hit level 9, and I have my ultimate in 5 seconds here. So, I'll look to do that as soon as I can. And I'll explain my build in a second here, which I haven't done just yet. But I think I'm going to clear up the minion wave. And actually... alright, he flashed, but he's still under it. Come on. There we go. It wasn't exactly pretty, but it definitely got the job done. That's a perfect example of me taking advantage of knowledge of his cooldowns. So a little thing like that can definitely come in handy. Now, I want to explain my build here real quick, because I'm going with Umbrella Nomicon this game. Now, the two most popular builds for Fizz, from as far as I know at least, in Season 6, are going to be something along the lines of running some CDR on your runes, Lich Bane, and cooldown boots, basically. Something like that. But another really popular build that you'll see me doing in this game here is the Morello Nomicon with Lich Bane and cooldown boots. And now it can be at 40% CDR without any CDR in your runes or masteries. And I think it's a really effective build. Not to mention the past season, Season 5 of course, cooldown reduction Fizz was pretty popular. And I just find this build really good because it allows me to have much more mana regen for farming and stuff like that. So in a lane phase it's much more passive and you're just looking to clear waves and farm and be safe. This build's really good. And so that's why I'm kind of going with this build this game. Not like entirely. I kind of planned upon it regardless what lane it was. But this build works really well in this lane. Whereas in a lot of cases, the build you want to go with, is like a lane where you're fighting a lot, would be like a Lich Bane Rush. That's really good in that sort of scenario. But not this scenario. And I think I'm actually good with items here. So I'm going to head back to lane here. We still have that Corruption Potion, of course. So as far as our next item goes, I'm probably going to be going with the Lich Bane next, just because of how well it synergizes with Fizz. Not to mention it'll provide us with some stats we want, like the extra mana is going to come in handy. It synergizes well with this, so I have more mana total, so the regen's less necessary, but still good. Not to mention also gives you some extra CDR, which is a new stat they added in, because they made Sheen, instead of having AP, it's just mana and cooldown reduction. So that's going to be really good for us to have the extra CDR. Because, of course, with Fizz, being able to hop around and go untargetable as often as possible is huge. And you can kind of see here that Lee Sin making a big impact in this game, and Malzahar not exactly bullying me too super hard, which is good. Because the thing with Malzahar is, while he's very, very strong in the lane phase in a 1v1 scenario, he has a really hard time forcing an advantage. Because he can poke me all he wants, but if he ever wants to kill me, it's completely reliant on me being completely ignorant to what his ranges are, or him flashing on top of me. Like, it's never going to happen, or I mean, it can happen, but in a competitive scenario, it's not going to happen. Malzahar is just going to walk up to a good opponent and unload his full combo. You know what I mean? A good player is going to recognize, oh, hey, I'm in range of Malzahar's full combo. I'm just going to walk away, right? That's normally what's going to happen. So, in other words, if Malzahar is versus a good opponent, he's going to have to flash on top of them to ever get a good combo off, unless the opponent completely disregards something that makes a big impact by mistake. You know, good players can make mistakes, of course. So, in this scenario, Malzahar had one opportunity, and that was the opportunity in the early game when I had to use my flash to escape him killing me. And gank casually just coming in here and taking my farm and leaving. Classic. But the other instance, of course, because I have, well, I only have one death, but the second instance there would be when Lee Sin ganked, and I got too close to him, expecting Lee Sin to kick. I was thinking that was really obvious. I guess he didn't see it that way, but it's no big deal, of course, because we still managed to snowball off of that, because I got the assist, and Malzahar died in the end, and Lee Sin got a kill, so it's all good, but still, little things like that did kind of hurt me in that scenario. So I think you get the moral of the story here, I think. And of course, the Malefic Visions. Good shield from Lee Sin, helped me block some damage. And actually, might be able to go on this guy. And holy crap. Great combo by Lee Sin. So I used my E there. Nice job. That was so fancy. I loved it. But yeah, one thing I should mention there is I used my E immediately because I was thinking Malzahar knew he was dead. So I thought he was going to try and full combo me. So I just wanted to avoid that the best way possible. And luckily, I did exactly that. I'll go and clip some minions here. And wow, we're actually stomping pretty hard, 11-1. I just noticed that. And yeah, blue buff would be pretty awesome. And actually, looks like they took my pink ward, so I might have to replace that. But that's not a hard thing to do, so I'll go ahead and do that when I'm back. Cool. And I think I used one of my auto attacks on the little one there. No problem, though. Alright, looks like we got top turret as well. Nice. Damn, we are so ahead. It's crazy how ahead we are right now. So I'll get this minion here. The other one was a lost cause. Oops, did I mess up the siege? Not quite. My W burn damage actually got it. And I'm coming over here. Might be able to take out the Malphite if he's just chilling here. Because I thought I saw him. Oh, here he is. What's up, man? Come up with the Ignite and my ultimate on him. And I was hoping Gank wouldn't steal that, but of course he does. Well, hold on. Actually, let's make this face. Yeah, that's a good face. And actually, Sivir's pretty low here. I want to kill Sivir, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, Gank totally stole that from me. He didn't use his ult or anything like that, but he hopped on him at the last second to try and get that last charge from his E off. Because I'm pretty sure that's how it works now. So if you hop on somebody with your E on them, it actually pops it. But I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I did a lot of damage, and I was hoping I'd get the kill because I used my ult and my Ignite in hopes of burning him down, but that's fine. But yeah, you'll notice there one thing I did there was I used my ultimate and my Ignite and a bunch of W auto attacks and stuff, but I never really used my E or my Q. I might have used my Q. I can't exactly recall. But I kind of hold on to those two spells unless for situations where I want to chase them. If not, you know, just for extra damage if I need the extra damage. But in that scenario, I mean, Malphite was outnumbered, not to mention he's going tank, so he's not exactly a damage threat. So I knew I could beat him in the 1v1 even without those spells. I just wanted to make sure that if he did try to escape, I'd be able to kill him. Not to mention, if I need the extra damage, I wanted to have them available. In other words. And another good reason to hold onto your E is what if one of their champions just showed up out of Fog of War, right? That's a good way to be safe, is that as soon as I get into that moment, where it's like, oh, hey, actually there's extra people here and Malphite's got help. All right, well, let's just, you know, hop away. Problem solved. And I think I'm going to start split pushing bottom. Let's do a 1-3-1. So hopefully Gank doesn't mind, considering he did take some of my farm earlier. So it's only fair. The wave's probably gonna be gone by the time I get there, but oh, actually, looking like some people are getting caught over there. That's not good. I mean, it's good from their point of view, but not for ours. But yeah, we could probably take Dragon. I'm just gonna clear this wave up first. I'll clear it all up in the 1E. Which, by the way, you max the E first because it's your main wave clear, not to mention your main burst. You could max Q or W, but they're more... I don't know, Q is pretty weak as far as damage goes, and W requires you to auto attack a lot to make the full usefulness of it, so it's just not as good. But as far as maxing second goes, you can kind of go either way. I find more success with W because I find in most cases the Q's extra burst is pretty negligible, I think is the right word, whereas like W is pretty damn helpful because in these fights they tend to last a little bit longer. And get all those, cool. And it looks like some people went that up top lane, that's not good. But I should be able to split push bottom here and get this turret. I felt some damage on it at the very least. You can see our damage on turret is pretty damn great because of the new season and how they set up the turret damage and all that. And it looks like Sivir's here. We don't know what the rest of her team is, so it's pretty risky to try and fight her right now. We managed to get the turret for free though, so I'll take that with a smile on my face. And yeah, looks like the rest of her team was on the way, in fact, as I suspected. So it's a good thing we didn't fight her, because we would have blown all of our cooldowns and then died because the rest of her team's there. And we're worth a lot more gold than Sivir is, because she's just 0-1, whereas we have 2 kills and have a bit of a bounty on us. Which, by the way, that's what those coins there mean, is what your bounty is. So I've gotten 2 kills in a row, so I have a bounty of 2, I guess, is how that works. I don't know the details of it, of course, but that's, I'm assuming, how it works. So there we go, we have the Lich Bane now. And let's see, how much do Spell Pen Boots cost? They cost 800 now, okay. Yeah, I want to get Spell Pen Boots. Actually, no, hold on, what the heck? I need cooldown boots. Alright, there we go, Cap CDR. I completely forgot about that. Alright, so there we go, actually. That's awesome. Now we have cap CDR at basically 20 minutes and level 12. Not too bad. And with this, our E's on a 4.8 second cooldown. That is awesome for us. Q's 6 seconds without any points in it, or I guess just 1 point. 6 seconds here. 51 seconds of my ultimate, and that's only max rank, so I assume it'll be like 45, maybe even 40 seconds at max rank. Looks like Lee Sin's gonna get caught out here. Malzahar's probably gonna all in him, and that's what I'm meaning here. Like, look at the CC. Like, there's just so much there. That's very tough to deal with. Let's get the ward down here. Gang's gonna get out. Props to him. But yeah, I don't think we can do a hell of a whole lot here. Because yeah, we have 3, but they have 3 as well, and their 3 are just much stronger than ours. However, Nar is just getting completely destroyed. Alright, well there we go. I didn't get my as much damage on him as I wanted to, but it was still enough to kill him. So I'll take that with a smile on my face. The Sivir ulti's going to try and get them out, but it will be in fact enough. We can probably do blue buff though. I'm just kind of worried they might be right here. They're not. Good. So I'll go ahead and take this. The Lich Bane's going to increase my burst by a massive amount. And let's go ahead and... Oops, I missed actually my E there. That's awkward. But I'll clear that out anyways, just so we have the timer for it. It's better we have the timer than they have it. Although, counter jungling can be useful against like the Raptors or the Wolves, but for buffs, I prefer to just take the timer. Allows a lot of, I guess, planning around to continuously denying them objectives. But I'll get a pink ward there to control the dragon area. Threshlander is going to get Malphite out. Alright. I think I'm just going to go and do the minion wave here. They don't have enough vision to really invade their jungle as of now. And I'm going to miss the siege. I am so sad. It's okay, though. But yeah, Malzahar's gone top lane here with his good buddy Gnar. At least I assume they're buddies. Maybe not. I mean, Gnar's 06. Damn, he's having a really rough game. Poor guy. But me and Jax are here, and there's 3 of them for sure. We don't know if there's more, though. What I could do here, because I have decent vision, is if anyone walks this way, I could pick them off. I would prefer it wasn't Gnar, but it looks like it might just be Gnar. I'm just going to Malphite. So again, hold on to my spells until I need them, because I might need to chase Malphite. If not, just finish him off. There we go, just finish him off like that. Why the hell not? You know, let's just go into a Gnar now. He's going to throw us into the wall, or not quite. He's going to try to, at least. Let's go and finish him off. Can we hop? I'm taking so much damage from Malzahar. Holy. So yeah, you can see there, Malzahar does a lot of damage. I'm going to have to get an Abyssal this game for sure. And it looks like, actually, Lee Sin's going to go down, but Malzahar's going to go down with him. I'm going to get the mini wave push in here, because I can't safely dive. Because if the tower angle randomly changes, I'm dead in like a hit or two here. Looks like Jax will dive, though, onto the what's its name? Thresh, and he will pick him off. Nice job there. Alright, let's just go back. See, our bounty is now 4, I think, because we have 4 kills in a row. So that's kind of how those little coins on the side mean, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I mean, they seem to sync up, so I think it's a fair assumption. As far as our next item goes here, guys, we're going to be going with the Hourglass. The Hourglass gives us exactly what we are lacking right now, and that is confidence. The Hourglass allows me to literally suicide into a fight in a situation where I should have no way of surviving or getting out at all by using my Trickster aggressively. And then afterwards, as soon as that's done, I can then use my Hourglass active, be in stasis for a few moments, and then pop right back out. It's a great combo, and it's really, really fun, because it just allows you to be super aggressive and not have to worry about a thing in the world. And that is something I always enjoy when I'm playing as any assassin, really. It's just that safety of being able to go in and have no hesitation. So go ahead and grab ourselves the blue buff as well, because ours is almost out. We'll place our green ward here to control this side of the river. Miniwave is going to run right into me here, so I'll clear this up. Clear up some minions. And I'm thinking, we don't really have much vision of their team, so it's kind of hard to make any sort of game plan as of now. But we can easily keep farming here, and hopefully a few of them start showing themselves over our wards. We saw Gnar top side there. There's a fat wave bottom, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're looking to catch out Triss, because that's what I would be doing if I was playing against Triss right now, is to catch out the AD carry farming alone. But yeah, I don't think they're strong enough to really make those rotations down bottom. That's really the biggest issue right now for them. So yeah, we could just go for Baron. I mean, it's pretty damn free, but it'd make the game a little bit dull, in my opinion. The thing with Baron is I use it like a lot in ranked games. Oh, and hold on, there's actually a fight going on. I'm on my way. Jax is not there. This is actually looking rather good for them because we have no Jax. And Jax is running TP, but he actually already TP'd, so yeah, he can't be a part of this. I'd like to help out here, but I don't know what I can really provide. Yeah, like, they're all there, and Malzahar probably has ult. I don't know for sure, and if I don't know for sure, because I didn't see him use it, it's safe to assume he has it. And if he has it, I mean, I'm literally useless, because as soon as I hop in, he's just going to ult me. There's no questions asked about that. There's nothing I can provide, so instead of complaining about it, I think what I should be doing here is pressuring something else that they're not going to defend, like mid lane, for example. And I only get so far before they base, so I think I'm going to go and do something else. Like maybe counter jungle or something like that. Because yeah, there's not much I can really do top lane. And their red is not here. I'm sad. Malphite's top. We could kill him, but he might just ult and their team could show up. It's important to keep that in mind. I guess we'll just keep farming mid. So go and clear the wave out and hop back out with the Q. And alright, yeah, there they are showing up. Yeah, it's a really tough game because the thing is with League of Legends is you always got to be aware of all the possible outcomes that could happen from every single situation. And I did manage to get that. Nice try, Gnar. Not good enough. Try harder next time. And if yeah, as long as you're aware of all of the risks and all the different possibilities from your actions, you can make the right play, essentially. And yeah, I think we can just do Baron here because the thing is they probably know they're probably on their way. I mean, it looks pretty clear, but we're so strong. I think we can pull it off. In fact, I'm gonna sit right here and hope someone face checks this little corner, and if they do, I can pop them. In fact, I might just be able to go over here. Hello. Yeah, see, I'm gonna get a lot of damage on me, but I might be able to pick him off. In fact, I can. And yeah, see, that's the burn from Malzahar. His Malefic Visions and his Ignite managed to finish me off there, but still managed to get a lot of damage down, so can't complain too much. Jax can pick the kill here onto the Malphite. The question is, though, is can he survive the rest? Looks like he will, because here comes the cavalry. The entire team's closing in. Great job. Can I pick off the Gnar as well? It looks like they should be able to, but no guarantees. Gnar's going to chuck them all into the wall. He's going to pick off the Lee Sin, but I think he's probably going to go down afterwards. He went back in for some reason. Not sure why. That was rather unwise. But we should be able to pick up our Hourglass here, which would provide us some extra safety. Because what would have happened in that last fight if I had Hourglass is as soon as I was finished killing Malzahar and the burns were continuing, I would have used the Hourglass active, and the stasis would have prevented me from any burn damage or any damage at all. And as soon as it finished, by then the burn damage was gone, and I could have just Playful Trickstered away from the Malphite. So that's a kind of example of me wanting to go ham but not being able to because I don't have the safety from Hourglass, and the difference that would be applied if I had the items. So I'm really stoked to have this finally, and I'm thinking from here, next blue buff's in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I just noticed my headset is making no noise at all, so I guess my headset's dead, which sucks. Doesn't change anything for you guys, I hope, but I'll go ahead and just turn that back on and clear up the Raptors here. Alright, we're back live. So, yeah, it makes no difference for you guys as far as I can tell, but for me, I couldn't hear anything, which makes the game feel super awkward. I don't know about you guys, but I go through phases where I like playing League with no volume and just listen to music. Other times I wanted to listen to the game audio and just the game audio so I can be super focused. I don't really know. I've never really figured out what's the best system for me, but changing it up does keep things interesting sometimes. So they have the Wolf Spirit, so going into their bottom jungle here is going to make no impact for us, no positive impact at least, because they'll see every move I make. And Lee Sin taking some farm, no big deal. But we do have good vision of their top jungle here, so I might be able to make some picks in this area. But no guarantees. No guarantees. But as long as we keep pressure up on the mid lanes, they're probably going to try and make some shortcuts through the jungle, and that's when we pick someone off if, of course, they are isolated. If they're not isolated, it's kind of doable, but tricky at the same time, especially if Malzahar's involved, because then I have to kill him first, otherwise I'm going to die, essentially, is how Malzahar makes things, unfortunately, because of how he is. Now, I know a lot of you are also thinking to yourselves, why not just get a QSS, problem solved? It's because the QSS item is unfortunately literally made for ADs. If you build it on an AP, like, you can get the QSS and it's going to be great for you, but it takes up an entire slot, and that just kind of sucks. Now, we might be able to fight these guys here, but we don't have Jax or Triss with us. Might be able to finish off Baron, though. I'll get a ward here, though, to fill in that blank. Hop the wall. Let's go ahead and just get this. And there we go. There's Baron. Awesome. Now, I think I'll pop my crystalline flask. Or not my flask, because it's not the flask anymore. The, what's this thing called anyways? Corruption Potion. Right. That's the one. And, actually, Gnar's top. Okay, that's all the vision we have, though. And hello. One of those things. Cleared that out. I think it's from the blue trinket. I'm not totally sure, though. But yeah, at this point, like, honestly, like, unless one of our teammates engages, whether it's, I guess, a Lee Sin kick, something like that, or a Jax stun, we don't really have much reliable engage unless they just get caught out, like this Gnar is right now. And actually, Jax getting caught out, we need to kill the Malzahar. He is priority numero uno. So let's go ahead and just do exactly that. He's gone. Let's see what else we can do here, because the rest of our team is pretty weak in comparison to the Malzahar. So just pop the wall here, kill this guy. Had to flash because I didn't have vision. And we'll see what else we can do here. And just auto attack on this guy, because why the hell not? There's the triple kill for us. Yeah, we take some extra damage from auto-attacking him, but I just didn't see any reason to Use my abilities immediately, so that's gonna be a triple kill for us. Great stuff there. Unfortunately, Jax getting... Was it Jax or was it someone else? Yeah, it was Jax that got a little bit caught out, but no problem. And with that, we should be able to pressure the turret here. I think their Thresh is AFK. I have no idea, though. Is he? I mean, he's not showing up. Is he just in base, chilling? Looks that way. Okay, well, that's the game here, guys. Actually, might be able to kill Malzahar. Oh. There we go. Another kill for us. Nice. Okay. So that's the game here, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. Sorry it was a little bit slower paced and maybe more dull, but this gives you a really good outlook on what to be thinking about when you're playing Fizz, or really just any champion in general. Just keep it in mind, the I guess the outcomes of every situation, every single choice you ever make, and making sure that you're prepared for the possible repercussions of those actions. So hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, make sure to drop that like rating. Helps out a ton. And if you didn't, of course, dislikes just fine. It helps me out just as much. And subscribe for more videos coming out soon. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.